Hey, it's been a while since. Oh. I'm babysitting. But I don't like this hair piece. From a distance, it looks like it's my hair color, and it's not. My hair is not black. Okay, it's not even this texture. Nothing is actually blending. But today's video is gonna be me talking about my college experience in some detail, not in some. Did you just too? Cause I am graduated now, so, and I don't really talk to. I mean, I talk to a couple people. We don't even talk consistently. So technically, I just talk to one person. Okay, but to start off, the generalization of college for me, horrible, awful, disgusting. I hated every single. I hated all of it. I hated it. Even like the good stuff didn't outweigh the bad. I mean, I made friends for that year, you know, the sophomore year. So the first college that I went to Curry College. And that's because they gave me the most money. They paid for pretty much the entirety of my tuition, except for room and board. And of course, I was a freshman, and freshmen can't have their cars on campus the first year. I also didn't even have a car, so that didn't even work. So I had to spend $20K per semester on room and board, and I didn't even want to do dorms. Like the way that I should have just found a school that was closer and tried to be a commuter or something. But I also didn't have a car. See, that was the problem, that I had to be in room and board, but I didn't want to stay in dorms. Because, well, now I realize even more that it's just the fact that I'm autistic and I don't do people well. And the fact of living with a complete stranger on the other side of my bedroom didn't sit right with me. So, still to this day doesn't. Because even then, like, sometimes, usually the size of the singles, at least at, like, the colleges that I went to, the singles were literally the double rooms, but with a wall. So anyway, like, the doubles were pretty much the same size as the singles. It was just a wall. Like, you could imagine a wall there, and the other side of the room would literally be the size of a single. So my thing is, why would you force people who just graduated high school and are trying to establish themselves as people in with random behind people? I don't know, like, and that whole, like, talking before during the summertime, it's not it. That's not I really should have known I was autistic my freshman year of college, actually, because, like, even the way that I was, yeah, or like anyone I met who befriended me, and they were like, oh, she's actually pretty cool, but like when they tell me that they're like, yeah, when I first met you, you kind of came off like a little weird, like a little, I don't know, we thought you were gonna be like the weird kid, the autism. But anyway, so freshman year, Curry College, went there because of the money. Also, my grandmother and my aunt have gone there. They both graduated from there too. It's a big nursing school. My grandmother was a nurse. My aunt was not, though. But yeah, it was a very cliquey, like, high school-y type school. I don't really know how to describe it. It was just, like, it really wasn't that big of a school. The campus was horribly hilly. I mean, so was Framingham's, actually, now that I think about it. All the hills. Everyone just trying to kill all of us. Can you say that on YouTube? They just trying to, all of us. You see what I'm saying? Biggest thing I remember from freshman year is, like, the latter half. That's when I made my friends for sophomore year almost. But then by the end of sophomore year, those friends had kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I kind of mentally detached myself from them. And then I made the decision to transfer to Framingham, because I was like, well, bump y'all. And bump this whole school. I don't even like this school. And I was low-key just kind of like just staying because they were telling me to. Like, oh, well, you're halfway through, just finish here, and then you already have us here, yada, yada, yada. First of all, no, I didn't. Okay, anyway, but yeah, so the first half of my freshman year, I didn't leave my room. I barely talked to anyone. Always had my headphones in. I was always in my room. I went to class, came back. Went to work, came back. I didn't socialize. I didn't ask to socialize. I didn't get invited out to socialize because I was that awkward, quiet person, you know? So this is one time I randomly watched a Marvel movie with some random white boy. Nothing, like, yeah, it was literally just watching the movie, but I guess he had found out, I guess he was interested in me, and I wasn't engaging that. I was just like, oh, we're watching Marvel? Sweet. You know, and I was just like, oh, a Marvel friend. I didn't think, yeah, but anyway, he was weird. His name was Jack, I think. Yeah, I don't know. That was really random, but I do remember that. I remember that. I was in the honors program. I was in like the newest campus building on campus because I was in the honors program and we got first dibs on it. So like we also had like the nicer rooms. They were slightly bigger, and then I was in a corner room I was in a corner room, so then it was slightly bigger too. But yeah, so freshman year, my roommate, we were like nice at first, you know, like we were happy that both of us were black. I think both of our families were happy we were both black. Actually, before I even got there, like all through summertime, it kept saying like, oh, check to see if you've got a roommate, check to see if you've got a roommate. It was literally like 2 days before moving, and I had still not been assigned a roommate. So I was like, I'm getting a whole room to myself, even if it was temporary, like for a little bit. And then literally 2 days before move-in day, it was like, oh, you've been assigned a roommate. And I was just like, you could have, because my thing is, I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody. I didn't get a chance to even get to know her. I could have instantly known she wasn't my type of people, first of all. But like, no one's really my type of people. I didn't even get a chance to like message her on Facebook and be like, oh, hey, we got matched. Like, okay, what do you like? What are the rules? Like, we had 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. And then like, y'all already know that I don't like the idea of roommates anyway, so that really kind of bummed me out, and I was just like almost freaking out a little bit. But yeah, so it was fine, it was whatever. She got to pick her side of the room first because she got there first, which was another thing that annoyed me, is that she got paired with me last minute. I had my room, and she just got her room, and now somehow she could move in first. Maybe I wanted that side of the room, you don't know, but it's fine, because sophomore year I took that side of the room because I got there first. Did I? I don't think I got there first sophomore year either, but she still let me have that side of the room. That was nice. But yeah, so the first roommate, the freshman roommate, we really didn't hang out, and like she instantly like befriended like these like very like ho-ish, very ho-y, out partying, drinking all the time, like don't care about their grade. 1.5 GPAs. One of them quite literally had a 1.5 GPA. But we're not that like whatever. But yeah, and then she started like acting like them, and I was like, and then she stopped caring about like the honors program and like being responsible, and I don't know, and I was just like, whatever, do your thing. But like, I wasn't with that crowd. I didn't talk to any of them when they were ever like hanging in the room. I hated when I came back and they were in the room. I'm like, you could have let me know, especially knowing like I'm the roommate who's always in the room. Like, you could at least text me and let me know that someone's in the room. You see what I'm saying? But long story short with this is that there was like a big group of us as like black girls together, and all of a sudden that group of black girls split because there was a little altercation going on. I really don't know what happened to this day. Even what they explained to me, I was just looking at them like, you're all stupid. It's college. Half of us will not even see or talk to each other again. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you want to go through 4 years of drama? Like, we're freshmen. It happened in the first semester. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's pathetic a little bit, but whatever. Whatever altercation happened, mind you, I really wasn't a part of this any group. I was in my room with my music playing, because I was still attached to my online friends, and I was too scared to do anything else with real people, you know. Not that they weren't real, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, and then the group split, and my roommate was on one side, and then like the other group was on the other side, and then and like me and my roommate really didn't have a connection or any type of like friendship relationship anyway, so I'm still trying to figure out like why it was such a big deal. But anyway, here I'll tell you what the big deal was. Is like, I was walking back to my dorm one day from class, and like one of the girls from the other side that my roommate no longer liked, okay, called me up, because like we all still had each other's numbers, and she called me and then she was like, hey, like I see you walking back to your dorm, do you want to come and hang out with me and a couple other girls? And I was like, oh, well, okay. Like, I had never been invited out, and I was like, she's invited me out with the roommate that I'm currently living with doesn't do that, you know? So I went to hang out with them, and it was really nice. Like, they were very inviting, they were very, you know, it was just very nice. Like, they did become my group for like the remainder of the year in sophomore year, and it was nice to have people. That it was nice. But I guess my roommate found out, or like they saw my roommate in like the other side. Like, the girls I didn't like, really, I didn't like them, so, but whatever. My roommate saw me hanging, I guess, with the group of girls that they didn't like or whatever, and that became a whole thing. Like, she stopped speaking to me, she didn't say hi or bye within the dorm or whatever. Like, there was like pretty much no contact except for the fact that we slept in the same room. That was it. And I was just like, this is very childish, and I just didn't really entertain it. I had no reason to talk to her. I had no reason to talk to her or her friends. I didn't acknowledge them whenever they were in my room. Absolutely despised it that they were in my room. I didn't stand up. I should have opened my mouth and been like, look, I figure it out, but not here, you know? At the end of the day, like, this is the safe haven, and they've got to go. This is not a hangout area. Yeah, and it was just weird. Like, she just made it really weird, because then it switched where or I started being out more too. Like I would go hang out with like my new friends because like they actually were nice and would consistently invite me out. They'd be like, oh, let's go out to here, or like let's go get food off campus, let's go to the mall, or like do you want to come to the student center with us? Like, you know, they would just they would include me, and I'm not used to being included, so it was a nice feeling. Yeah, and then it was just weird. And after a while I noticed like I was always going out but my roommate wasn't. Also, there was like a period where like we had like a shared friend, like a shared male friend, and the male friend took my roommate's side or whatever, and he low-key stopped talking to me even though he was closer. I don't think he was closer to me necessarily, but like, I don't know. The fact that I just didn't directly do anything, I was like, y'all are really pathetic. And this is why I don't even care, because I don't want to be your friends if you're going to act this way, because I'm like, you're mad that I'm hanging out with someone who ultimately didn't do anything. It'd be different if they were like, oh, she K-worded my mother. You see what I'm saying? Then yeah, maybe I would stay away from them. But it's just like you guys are just upset over petty little things. You know, see what I'm saying? Like you're just on each other's people. That was it. That was all. Pathetic, like Tyler Perry type drama. You see what I'm saying? Like I wasn't trying to get involved in that. I've been raised not to get myself in drama, so I was just like whatever. Like it wasn't drama. Like I wasn't doing anything out of spite or anything like that. So it was just really weird. There's like so many random things I'm remembering. Like one of my roommate's friends had like, I think I still had her on Instagram because like no one had like removed me or blocked me, and I was just blindly scrolling through it and like liking the pictures I hadn't liked. Why did this girl take the time out of her day to be upset and take her time to click my name and message me? It was like, you know, we don't mess with each other like that. Why are you sitting here liking my photos? And I was like, if it was that serious, then you would have removed me by now. I said I didn't even realize it was you. I was literally just liking. Like you're really not special, because like the way that I would do and keep pushing, I wasn't looking at who I was liking the photos of. All I know is that I was following them, and yeah. It was just very obvious that she was like bothered and rubbed and like, but I was literally like so nonchalant about all of this. I did not care. I was like, at the end of the day, no offense, I have more class than you, I have more intelligence than you, and I wasn't threatened. And I'm like, if you guys want to party and get drunk all day and not have good grades and go and spend thousands of dollars on a school just not to go to class and stuff, that's fine. You can do that. Throwing yourselves at men who actually think you're gross. Like one of them always had a rumor talking about like, I mean, not to like backbite, but like it was like that she always stunk or something, like. And I was just like, and this is the lifestyle that we're living. Also, like, the classes, they're not challenging. Everything was just, yeah, very cliquey. Like, and then there was, like, lots of, like, you know, like, racist and, like, hate crimes and stuff. The people would be writing things on walls and bathrooms. There was, like, assault. Expulsion isn't even expulsion because someone was allowed to come back after being expelled, and I was very confused. One of the rules at Curry was, also, they made the news. I don't know if anyone's seen lately. They be making the news for even more of the hate crime stuff. So ain't nothing changed. I'm glad I left it where it was. One of their rules of like code of conduct or whatever, conduct, I don't know. But oh, if someone like if someone attacks you on campus, you're not allowed to defend yourself, because then you would also be in trouble and expelled or put through a whole thing. And all you can do is lay there like this and cover your face. I looked at every single white person who was speaking to me. I said no. I looked around at other black people, and I saw it in their eyes and on the looks on their faces. They were like, that's absolutely insane. That's not, you're gonna get hurt if you attack me. Those are the consequences of your actions. Mine is self-defense, because what's not about to happen is that I let someone beat my skull in by laying there like a dummy. That's not gonna happen, bro. And the school would be paying for all the medical bills too, because don't do that. And you would expedite my degree. Like, that was the stupidest thing I had ever heard. I don't care if I'm on campus. If someone's going to attack me, I'm beating their behind into the ground. All the pent up anger is coming out. Do not attack me. You see what I'm saying? Because even in all the anger, especially with the autistic irritation that I get, and I still don't attack nobody. But these people can't control themselves. Oh, I met someone not brown. She was great. She didn't do anything to make me upset. She was awesome. She took me to my first rave. That was fun. Saw a dude in like a lit up bodysuit on stilts. That was cool. That's where I had my first kiss. And it wasn't really a date. But that poor girl, she got lost in the crowd. I lost her. Cause she found some random white girls, cause she's a white girl, and she just went off with them. I said, come back. But anyway, so she got off in the crowd with them, and I was with my first kiss dude. But next thing I know, she called me, hey, in like the stairwell, I got knocked over and like people trampled over my knee, and I was just like freaking out. So like I had to go get her. But then what's crazy is like the tallest kid from my from elementary to high school happened to be there. And yeah, and he just happened to be there, and like so like he's like coming like down the stairs or whatever, or up the stairs or something, and he like sees us standing there. He's like, oh, y'all need help? And he just boom, picked up my friend so easily, and we can just carry her down the stairwell. And I said, thank you, nice to see you. And I was just baffled, you know. But yeah, he was a little bit not fully there, but that's okay. At least he was able to operate properly. The way that somehow I got yanked into like this white folk drama. There was a whole other group of people. I didn't consider them friends. They were kind of weird. Anyway, yanked to some white folk drama. Like there was just this one white boy and this one white girl who I somehow ended up befriending. What's more, other people consider me more their friend than I do with considering them my friend. People feel more connected to me than I do to them is, yeah, what I wanted to say. The camera going down. I haven't even got to sophomore year yet, chat. Yeah, there was like a whole thing with that. And then the white boy that I befriended got himself banned from campus. I couldn't even really begin to tell you what the story happened, but all I know is that I didn't want to talk to him because I'm like, you're really just being childish and you're causing me stress and anxiety, and everyone else stress and anxiety, and everyone else seemed to just instantly forgive him and forget about everything, and they were just like, oh, I'm going to meet with so and so, and I was like, okay. But anyway, fast forward to sophomore year. That next roommate was actually the white girl who I befriended along with that white boy, right? Because old roommate wasn't happening, never again. Also, old roommate freshman year started talking to me towards the end because the little two stupid friends that she had made, and like not chose them over me, but like iced me out because of them. They ended up icing her out, and then she was always alone. You see how stuff coming around? I'm just saying, like, don't do stupid stuff. Like, my thing is, I don't think I've ever intentionally tried to just like be dramatic or cause things, you know. It's usually, but I don't intentionally go out of my way to do things to people. Everything's usually an accident because I can't read things emotionally very well. But like, I apologize and I try to learn after. But everyone else be trying to hurt my feelings on purpose. Why? And then sophomore year, so again, yeah, that white girl pretty much screwed me over because she tried to come for me in a text message saying, oh, the next time that you're on a FaceTime call, do you mind putting in your earbuds? You were very distracting, yada yada. And I said, sure, but it was the way that she came across it, like it was like the biggest, most drastic thing ever. And so I returned the same energy, being formal with periods and all of that, and I was like, okay, well, this is a problem, then here I want to list all of mine. And one of my things was like, she said that I was on a FaceTime call and they put my earbuds in. I completely understand that courtesy, but it's the fact that she didn't even open her mouth to say nothing in the setting. Say something if it bothers you that much. And then two, she was never even in the room. So like, yeah, I was used to being alone and like not having to use earbuds. And then I was in the room alone when she randomly walked in on my FaceTime call. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe I could have put my earbuds in, but it was just like the fact that like she did so many inconsiderate things, like coming back to the dorm at like 2 a.m. after hanging with her friends on a Wednesday night, dog. And you're sitting here telling me you're gonna sit there and tell me about earbuds? That was your thing? I think she was like looking for an excuse to finally just kind of move. But like, I went off on her like professionally, I guess, but I was like, there has literally been an instance where I went to shower and no one was in our room, and then I came back from my shower and there were 3 people sitting in my room. And then they looked at me weird when I walked in my robe and was just standing there awkwardly waiting for them to go because, you know, I'm naked beneath the robe and would like to get dressed because it's getting late and it's the middle of the week and we have class tomorrow. And my thing, like, I'm not understanding, like, people always treated me like I was supposed to be the oddball. Like, dog, get out of my space. You know, like, she would do stupid stuff like that, and that really set me off. So yes, I said, okay, fine, I can do that, but then here, you need to know about this, that, and the third. And then I literally brought a whole PS3 because she agreed to bring a mirror, she agreed to bring a TV screen. None of that happened the whole semester. None of that happened at all. This is the weekend before Thanksgiving break. Like, I was literally set to go to North Carolina, and she sent me that text after I already left for that Friday, or that Wednesday, I don't know. But like, she sent me that whole text, and I was sitting at the DMV with my grandmother because I was helping them out with something, so I had the time, you see, because we had to wait a little bit. And yeah, so I said, okay, yeah, this, that, and the third. And then she said she comes back like with this little victim mindset and was like, okay, well, it seems like you have a lot that you don't like about me, or blah blah blah, and like we don't seem to be the good fit. And I was like, or you could just acknowledge the fact that you are not a courteous person, and we could have an adult conversation about it and set boundaries. But instead now you want to run because you got put in your place, because white women have these big crocodile tears and they can't handle being called out for their mess, and it's quite pathetic to me, to be honest. So then next thing I know, like, we go on Thanksgiving break, and I was like, okay, fine, like, if you want to move out, totally fine. No one's gonna stop you. Also, mind you, I had to work with this girl. We were both the honors mentors, the honors program mentors that year as well, and that was another reason why we had decided to room. So I still had to like see her and like talk to her and like have her number and stuff. I wanted to block this girl instantly, but whatever, because it's like the energy like that, like I don't need that. Even some people, other people, when I went off about it, they were like, yeah, no, she comes off as way too nice, there's something off about her. And I was like, honestly, yes, because no one is that nice. And like, she's got these, I can tell, like, sometimes you can look at her eyes and there's like these little schemes going, like, dog. Anyway, so we go on Thanksgiving break. Why I come back, and I forget what, I had been talking to like a dude at the time, and like, so he was in the room, like we were just hanging or whatever, and I texted her, let her know like, hey, so and so just kind of popped up at my room after I let him know I was back on campus, just a heads up, but I can ask him to leave if you want. Oh, she was like, oh no, thanks so much for telling me, blah blah blah. So I'm thinking like, oh, we're back cool, we're gonna have a conversation maybe. Nope. As he and I are sitting there, why does she walk in, and then her older sister walks in, and a couple of her friends walk in, and like they're moving things out of the dorm. They're moving things out of the dorm. You're moving? You didn't even let me know that today was your moving day? You didn't even let me, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, when I tell you, like, it really wasn't, it was like 4 days. We were on vacation. How did this all happen so quickly? So she screwed me over with that, because then, in order for no one else to move in, because I really wasn't trying to deal with a third roommate, like, I was really so very tired of people, and I was like, this is my living space, and I can't do it. Please stop, baby girl. But my thing, like, you really, first of all, you didn't even follow through on any of your roommate duties in the first place, and now you bouncing? But yeah, so because of her, I had to pay $1,160 to make sure no one else could move in, because I really wasn't trying to deal. So I literally, like, I had to pay it in a payment plan. And so half of my paycheck, or yeah, like every month, it was like over $200, and I paid it out. I did, because I was like, you know what, no one's living here. And I had a corner double room in like the newest building on campus to myself. So that was nice. It was like my little mini apartment, because I kind of converted like the other side was like a little like storage or whatever, and like her desk became like my kitchen area next to the microwave and the fridge and all that. I brought the microwave and the fridge. I brought everything. It was quite the way things work out for me. But yeah, I'm just always getting screwed over by people. There was like a time where like I had expressed to an online friend that I wasn't feeling that great mentally, and then I said I took a bunch of sleeping pills, and I stopped answering her because, like, you know, I fell asleep. Next thing I know, my door's being banged. This is freshman year. My door's being banged on, and it's that white boy who I befriended before the whole fallout. And he's like, your online friend found my Instagram, and like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? And I was like, not these people thinking that I was trying to off myself, because that's not what was happening. I was just tired and sad, and I went to sleep. I just wanted to go to sleep for a little bit. Like, so then he made it such a big thing. Like, he grabbed his friends that I don't even know. They were not my friends, I'll tell you that. And he let them in my room. And they were telling me to eat. And I was like, who are you, little girl? Don't ever. He alerted the RAs. The RAs alerted their boss, which is like the CD. I forget what that stands for. Community director. Like, when I tell you, like, multiple people were just in my room, then my roommate came and checked on me, because like the white boy was also friends with her, and he had texted her and was like, yo, like, you know, Raina's this and that, and like she left her friend group to hang out, and I'm trying to figure out what she told them as an excuse to get out of there, you know what I'm saying? I think they came with her, and they were just in the hall. There was a lot going on that night. Anyway, I got forced into counseling. That's what I wanted to say. And then the next year, I also got forced into counseling, because I didn't go back at the beginning, and I expressed that I thought I was anorexic. And then I got forced into counseling again. It was a very eventful time at Curry, to be honest. Very, very eventful. I was a mentor in like the black, I forget what it was called, but it was for black people. And there was another black girl who was a freshman, and her name was Raina, and we connected through Facebook. because my friend who had befriended me from freshman year was like, yo, there's a girl named Raina on Facebook, yada yada yada. So yeah, we got paired, and then there was a whole thing where she couldn't go to the school anymore, and then yeah, that kind of fell through too. But by the end of sophomore year, there was a whole falling out, and I really think it was over some stupidity. And to be honest, it was literally between me and one person, and somehow it escalated to like an entire group of people. And that's how you know like things are high school and cliquey. Like these people were just not mature, and I'm glad I distanced myself. I don't talk to any of them except for one, and even then we don't talk much. So Framingham was fine because I was a commuter and I didn't talk to anyone, and like Hannah went there, so I just hung out with her. Yeah, there was like literally nothing eventful to talk about for my junior and senior year, except for that crazy, I mean, obviously the pandemic and Rona happening, but everyone was going through that, so that doesn't really need to be story time. All I know is I had to do a speech class because I was in the middle of a speech class and then the school shut down, and this poor man was over 70 years old. Zoom was something. But yeah, so then sophomore year I was just alone, and I decided, and then that was like probably like one of my worst, or the very first worst depressive episode I had. I've had worse ones since then, but that was probably one of like my lowest points, I think. And I literally didn't reach out to anybody. I just went to class and I came back. I went to work and I came back. I literally just repeated. I started off my freshman year that way, and I ended my sophomore year that way because everyone just rubbed me the wrong way. And that was pretty much it. I quietly applied to Framingham. I said nothing, and then like towards the end I was like, yeah, or no, when they wanted to reach back out to me and yada yada, this, that, and the third, like probably after their own guilt or whatever, because like I literally apologized like the day of, like literally half an hour after the situation even happened with these people. And I'm like, so for you to drag it out for weeks and like be all gossipy and weird and whatever, like I got uninvited to a birthday party. You see what I'm saying? Like at this point, I don't care. Good riddance, truly and honestly. Like, and the fact that I couldn't walk away when this person, I was pretty much cornered because we were both posted at the same spot. We all worked at the same, well, not everyone, but like 3 of us worked at the same joint. And so she had gotten assigned to my building, and like I couldn't leave the desk. So I kind of had no choice, you know. And I wasn't trying to have no drama, so like obviously I was like nonchalant about it. I was like, oh, you know, it's cool, whatever. But it's just weird because then like she started FaceTiming people, and like she FaceTimed someone who wasn't even, I don't even know if she was there, but she had nothing to do with the situation. And she was like, oh, was that Raina? And the girl who said that we were back cool, she was just like, oh yeah, like she's cool again, we like her again. And I was like, this is like pathetic. And then like I ended up telling her friend, the friend who I'm still friends with today, because like, yeah, she was the one who invited me. The one who invited me that, and back in freshman year, she's the one I still talk to. She was the realest one out of all of them, because she had also come for me too, because I had mentioned her name at that situation, but she wasn't there, and I kind of like was upset because I was like, so this girl is blabbing in her mouth to all of her friends, but I already sent her an apology paragraph. So she just wanted drama. That's what I didn't like, is that she just wanted to be the center of attention and like be the victim and have all this drama and have these people gang up on me or whatever. And I was like, I don't even talk to these people. So like, what are you even doing? But whatever. So then that friend, their main friend, had texted me. I responded like, I don't really know, you know, why I'm talking to you about this when I should be talking to so-and-so, considering it was between me and her in the first place. So it was a whole thing. And then I ended up telling her, like, you know, like what I told the main friend what the other girl had done, like, oh, telling people like we like her again, and she was like, oh, I didn't know she was doing that. I was like, exactly, like this is why I didn't even, I don't know, I just didn't care, because I was like, everything, it was just very obvious that like things were just so immature. Like, you people are not adults and you can't handle things socially, and I'm sitting here like, I'm autistic and I can see that. And it's just, this is why I don't mind not always having friends, because like they just rub me the wrong way. Like, so after a while, like I would be out or whatever, sometimes I would say yes to like the main friend to hang out, and like people would be like, oh, I never see you around campus no more. It's like, yeah, I don't like you guys because you guys are fake, and I have no business speaking to people like that. I don't want that energy in my life. And to be honest, when I graduated, I didn't even plan on keeping contact, so whatever. But yeah, so anyway, I transferred to Framingham because that place sucked. I had a problematic professor freshman year, all freshman year, because I took both of her economic classes. Apparently she got like big pregnant sophomore year, or not sophomore year, like my junior year when I wasn't there anymore. My friends were still catching me up and stuff. Yeah, she was from Russia or some weird different country like within that area. I don't know. She was very smart, very intelligent, you know, like power to the woman in STEM. I don't know if economy counts in STEM. It was math. There was math. There was much math involved. I was good at both classes. She just rubbed me the wrong way. And then like she would always like point out that I had the highest score, and then I would just feel all the stares and stuff. And there was one point she was like lecturing the class like, oh, we need to do better. We need to do da. Like, you guys have to try this, and like Reina here, like Reina here. Look at, she has highest score in class almost every time. You guys have to be more like her. Better yet, Reina, you should be the tutor. You should be my teacher, my TA, my teacher's assistant. And I was just like, I'm not good at teaching other people. And she was like, no, but you would be so good at it, and blah 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 blah, like you're just so good at it. Because I got exempted for both of her economic finals because my grade was that high. And then I blurted out, oh, I'm transferring. And then she started going off, well, you see, now we lose people like Reina because the classes are not challenging enough. And she just went off. It was a whole thing, bro. It was a whole thing. But I had literally gone to her higher up to talk about her because she was really doing too much. Like, pretty much all of her classes were complaining about her. No one liked this woman, and I'm surprised she still has a job. Ultimately, if you're gonna go to college to be social, don't. The money's not worth that. Don't do that. I don't think you should be spending thousands of dollars to have a social experience for 4 years. But I also would just say don't go to college, period, because they're literally just teaching you how to be in a cubicle and get told what to do, versus like trade stuff. Like, what skills could you have to provide for your family? Like, as analytical as I am, I don't think it really, like, I mean, like, it could help in some instances, but like me inputting random numbers in an Excel sheet isn't really all that impressive, or like being able to match code numbers and stuff really isn't all that impressive, you know. It's just, I just wouldn't have gone to college if I had been allowed to not go. I was low-key forced. I wasn't allowed to take a gap year, and of course I was 17 when I went, so I really didn't have a choice. I literally had to have like my fitness, like I couldn't use the fitness center until I got my parent to sign. And I honestly wish I had been able to take a gap year, because I think I would have figured out that I didn't want to go, and I don't think it's worth going. And even now my parents are, or like at least my mom is, like telling my siblings, like, you know what, if you don't, or whatever you want to do, if you don't have to go, then don't go. It's really not worth it, especially in this economy. It's not fair because I was the guinea pig, because I was trying to say that it's the fact that like I was so observant with things like this, and like I would notice things like this, or I would notice like weird tiffs in the family, or like weird attitudes, or weird like vibes, like very early in age. Like I would notice things at like 10 through 12, bro. And like I feel like I was noticing before I even was old enough to look at colleges. Like, this doesn't seem like it's worth my time, effort, or money, you know, or like, I don't know. Look, if you want to go to college, then go. Just seriously think about it, because socially and academically, for real, because it's a lot. And I know I probably had more challenges because, again, but like, I'm really sitting here thinking about it, and it's just like I was really just screwed over all of the years. But I have a degree. Anyways, college wasn't great for me, but I hope it's great for anyone who's considering going. So good luck. Goodbye.